I saw this amazing 24-year-old kid. He's just started his job. He wrote a paper that after 20 years, I want to buy a house. 6 crore or 7 crore rupees. His goal number 2 is after 25 years, I want to have a Rolls Royce. Third, I want to be financially independent in X number of years. How much should I start investing for that? He sums that up. It comes to a meager 75,000 rupees. What is the most important thing in my life? Like Warren Buffett says, put down 10 priorities of your life. More you want, it should be at the top. Cut down the last 5, stick with the first 5, right? Because that's the maximum you can achieve in your life. People are overwhelmed by, they want to achieve a lot. I think it's not about spreading wide, it's about going deep. The more you go deep in one thing is where the potential of you making more money, saving more money, investing more money comes very handy. So first bucket is your emergency fund. Fill it. The second bucket is insurances. Out of 100 people in India today, only 3 people have a health insurance. And now the next bucket should be divided into different smaller buckets. My first goal, buying a car. My second goal, getting married. My third goal, having a kid. My fourth goal, buying a house. My fifth goal, sending kids to good education. My sixth goal, having a...
Today, we are talking about money with Sanjay Kathuria. He's a finance creator who reaches millions of people every day, and he became financially independent at 39. He will be breaking down what does it mean to be financially independent, understand the correct mindset required for investment, and also he tells us why do nurses make the best investors. Welcome to Something Bigger with Sanjay Kathuria. Let's go. Well, I'm excited to first welcome. I'm excited to understand how you became financially free at the age of 39.
Yes.
So it's really a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, and it is a pleasure to be here because this is very unique. I don't do much English podcasts, so most of my podcasts are recorded in Hindi. And this is the first time I have an international host who's more Indian now. In terms of if you see the dressing, I seem like a Britisher or an American wearing so many coats and everything, and you are just in the right Indian attire. So thank you so much for calling me here. Thank you so much.
Very good. Okay, what is, like, people ask you a lot of questions about money. What has been one of the most funny questions that people asked you about money?
Funny questions. I think the funniest question which I get is, how can I become rich overnight? So I think that's a very, very funny question for me because people are in the rat race of doubling their money, or they want to, they're chasing returns, and they're chasing the fact that, how can I just do something and money flows into me. I think that's a very wrong approach about money. And that's what, it scares me also. It is funny, but it scares me that this is the mindset of people, that everybody wants to become rich overnight. And they see some young guy on Instagram, driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, and he's taking that gun and shooting money out of it and all those kind of things. And that fear of missing out, and the fact that how could he do it and I'm not able to do it. So I think that is what is really hurting people's money expectations. And I always say that people are romancing the output. They're not looking at the input. So everybody would be like, wow, man, this guy is free at 39, but they wouldn't know what I've done to do reach here. And not only, even if they come to know that what I've done, because I will keep on saying what I've done. It's a very simple thing which I've done, but they will not be able to stay on that path for a very long time.
One thing that, for me, to be honest, I feel sad is that we were never taught in school how to manage our money, which is one of the most important things that we have. Money is like, it's everywhere, it's part of our life, and we're not taught about that. And the funny thing, I saw your son, you having a conversation with your son, which now I think is 10 years old, right? Of course, I mean, you taught him a lot of things. I'm curious, what's been one of the most surprising things that he told you about money?
So I remember once he came to me, and at that time I had not started doing content, and we used to discuss a lot about money. So his, so what I do is, purposely when I have to see something about money, I see it on his YouTube. So his feed changes because of that, because algorithm works that way, right? So I'm using the algorithm for my benefit. So I started seeing more videos around finance, investments, how to budget on his ID. So slowly he started getting those kind of videos. And he got those shots, he got those things, and he started scrolling and he started assimilating, because a kid's mind is like a pot. You
Yeah.
can just form the pot. It's like clay, sorry. So you can make a nice pot out of it. So either you can see some shit on his feed and that shit would repeat and multiply,
Yeah.
or you can see those meaningful things on YouTube and the same thing will multiply on his feed. And that's what just kept on happening. And one fine day he comes and tells me that I want to, Dad, now have a small pocket money of my own. And I said, why do you want it? Because he said, Dad, I'm 10 and Warren Buffett started investing at the age of 11. And he said he's late. That means I have to start investing now. I said, wow. So this gave me a very happy dad moment.
Wow.
That I think he saw the right reels or right YouTube
So
shorts or
cool.
YouTube videos, because he comes up to me and says he wants to invest. So I said, okay, fine. Then we sat down. He prepared a plan of his 2,000 rupees. I told him I'll give you 2,000 rupees a month, not more right now, because I used to get, at your age, I used to get nothing. But when I started getting pocket money, it was 500 rupees a month.
Yeah.
So I said 2,000 rupees a month is something you will get. So he sat down with me. He budgeted those 2,000 rupees. He has to buy some equipment because he's a gamer. So then second, I taught him that how to think about ROI. So his gaming, he's a avid gamer. So he comes up and he says that he wants to build a career in gaming. So he has to tell me that why he wants to build that career. What is he going to achieve out of that? And then when he comes to me and asks for expensive equipments, like he asks for a 18,000 rupee mouse, which gamers use. And I tell him that I've never bought a mouse which is more than 180 rupees.
Yeah.
So, if I have to pay 100 times more, you better tell me why you are, what are you going to do with this? So I think this was the second thing which got inculcated in him, is every time he has to come and he justifies why that thing is required monetarily. So I think that really, the funniest part was he comes up and tells me that Warren Buffett was 11, he was late. Now I'm 10, I have to start now.
So what were the principles about money that you taught him that we all should be aware, that we should have learned in school?
So I went very simple, the Rich Dad Poor Dad methodology.
Yeah.
And first I taught him the 4 quadrants, which was ESBI. Employed, self-employed, businessman, investor.
Okay.
So that was the first 4 quadrants I taught him. So employed is somebody who's trading time for money. Self-employed is also trading time for money, but he has a little bit of independence.
Yeah.
Businessman has a leverage of money, leverage of people's time, leverage across. So I taught him that. And investors have a leverage over everything else.
Okay.
Right? So then I gave him an example that the CEO of Coke, the CEO, the top boss of Coke, makes $20 million per annum in his salaries and everything put together. And he has to work, very, very hard for it. He has to come every day to office. He has to plan. He has to manage so many people. He has to do so many things. On the other hand, Warren Buffett owns stocks of Coca-Cola. And he doesn't have to go to office. He has to just write 1 letter every year to them. He has to not do anything. He's sitting home, chilling, reading his newspaper, eating his McDonald's, having his Coke. And he gets a dividend of $450 million from Coca-Cola.
No.
So I told him, look at this disparity, that a man is spending so many hours working and then he's getting $20 million. And I'm talking about the top boss. I'm not talking about a normal employee. And on the other hand, there's an investor who's able to invest and make much, much, much more than that in dividends just because he's invested in that company and that company is growing. So I taught him about this investment mindset versus, employee mindset, victory mindset against victim mindset. So these kind of mindset trainings I do with him a lot. And today also he comes up and gives the same example to everybody else. He said, my dad told me Coke CEO makes $20 million, Warren Buffett makes $450 million. So I think that was the first step which I started with him on money. Then second, we spoke about how is wealth created. So I told him that wealth is created only if you can do 2 things in business. One is if you can solve somebody's problem.
Yeah.
Like you can make it more frictionless. For example, Uber made ride hailing very frictionless. And so then people are ready to pay you for that. Or else you help people achieve their goals. So for example, educational institutions, groups which conduct these large events where people meet up and all these things. So many more examples, but these are places where we help people to achieve their goals. So if we can either solve their problem or we can help them achieve their goals, I think these are the only 2 bigger things where you can make money. Goals could be also about vanity. So maybe I want to look good, I want to feel good, I want to have the best brand. That's also vanity. That's not solving a problem, but that's like helping me achieve my goal of looking good or feeling that vanity that I'm wearing a, let's say, a Louis Vuitton belt, or I'm having an Apple iPhone, or those kind of things. So that's what I told them, that whenever you do these two, either you solve a problem or you help people achieve their goals, you will make a lot of money in this process. So these was few things which we started with when about money. Then we spoke about how to budget, because I think budgeting is very, very important. How to manage your money, how to keep track of your money, where's the money going? Is it going in the right places? Is it what is aligned to your happiness goal? So for example, traveling makes you happy, but you're buying more candies. So that is not going to help you. Stop buying candies. Start traveling more, because traveling makes you happy. So what makes you happy? Put more money there, and ruthlessly cut money at places where you don't get happiness. So these are few things I started teaching.
So that's what we need to learn at school. It helps as a foundation, right?
Yes. So if that can be started right from the age of, let's say, 7 or 8, I think it will make a very big difference, and we'll have more evolved individuals.
Exactly.
And managing money very well.
Exactly. But have you heard about this news? I think there's this guy, the CEO of Loom. He just sold his company for almost $1 billion.
Yes.
I
don't know what to do now.
Exactly. So he said, like, I'm rich and I don't know what to do with my life.
True.
So where do you see this balance between going after money, meaning to achieve your financial independence, versus to live your life? What's your thoughts on that?
So I have a very deep thought on this.
Let's go.
Yeah. So the first thought I have is, and I say this in Hindi once, and then I translate it in English, that मैं चाहता हूं कि सबके पास पैसे हो. ठीक है? मैं चाहता हूं सबके पास पैसे हो जाएं, अमीर हो जाएं, ताकि उनको ये रियलाइज हो कि अमीर होने के बाद प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं होती, प्रॉब्लम पैदा होती है. यानी कि in English, if I have to say this, I want everybody to have money. I want everybody to be rich, because that very day you'll realize that it doesn't solve your problem. Money makes more problems for you. And that's precisely what you said in this example, is that this guy is now very, very rich, but he doesn't know what to do, right? So the first thing is, and when people tell me you have retired, I correct them. Like we were speaking, I said, no, I'm financially independent. I'm not retired.
Yeah.
And I put a word behind that, which is purposefully financially independent. So I had a purpose, a dream in my life to teach people. That was a dream, but I couldn't fulfill, because in the initial part of my life, I couldn't fulfill it because maybe my conditions or my mindset was not ready for it. I evolved over the last 16 years. I worked with few people. I worked in jobs. I made my money. I started investing. I started saving. I did all the right things to become a financially independent individual by certain age. Some people can achieve it faster. Some people will take a little more time, and some people will never be able to do it.
Yeah.
That is because of pure habits, how your habits are. So when I reached my financial independence, I said, now is the time I can chase my purpose, which was to educate people. And that's how I got into content creation, and I started creating content, because I was always a very avid teacher. I've been a teacher for a very, very long time. So whenever I used to find free time, I used to teach. So I thought that let's convert this into a complete purpose, that helping people achieve their financial independence, getting to know about financial independence. Let's help people achieve that. So if somebody wants to become financially independent, before that they need to have a purpose. Else, like this guy would be posting and saying that, okay, I have all the money. And let's say you have all the money. You have, let's say, $1 million in your bank account. You go to the top 5-star hotels, stay there for 30 days. You take the business class, you take first class, you drive a Mercedes, you do everything which you ever thought was going to give you happiness. Trust me, after 30 days, all that happiness will vanish. It will come to the ground. It will have nothing. And you'll sit and say, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So there are two things. One is happiness and one is pleasure. We are confusing pleasure with happiness. So pleasure means when you are buying something which is hitting your dopamine. Okay, I'm buying a belt, I'm buying an accessory, I'm buying a watch, I'm now having a Rolex, or I'm having a Mercedes. These are very, very temporary happiness. So that's why they are known as pleasure. Happiness is only comes when you have a purpose and you give out something. People who give are happy. People who take are pleasurable only for certain time, and after that they are miserable. So that's the math behind becoming financially independent. If the same guy now says, okay, I've, let's say, $200 million in my bank account. Out of this $20 million, first, I will start doing something charitable. I will see a bigger problem in the world. I will find that there are young kids who are not able to know about financial independence. I will support individuals who do not have access to entrepreneurship to become an entrepreneur. I will give them capital based on their, the hunger they have to solve this particular problem. So that very day, he will be very happy. He'll start becoming very, 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 very happy because he has purpose in his life. Where he doesn't need to think about money. So I tell people that if you really want to have a happy life, find something which you can do for 3 years for free and not crib about it.
Wow.
So if you can do something for 3 years without making money and you don't crib about it, that's the purpose of your life. And for me, when I started content creation, I was burning money. I had no revenue sources, nothing. But it was I was just enjoying every damn day of it because that was the real, that real objective of my life. The real purpose of my life was that.
So what you're saying is like, first you have your purpose, you define what you want for your life.
Yes.
And the financial independence is a way
it's
to
an enabler.
help, an enabler to achieve that. That's what you said, yeah?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always say, don't envy the rich, envy the free. Because rich has no definition.
Yeah.
Okay? For example, for us, $100 million guy is rich.
Yeah.
But for the same $100 million guy, a $500 million guy is rich.
Yeah.
But for the same $500 million guy, a billionaire is a rich guy. For the same billionaire, a $20 billion is a rich guy. So that race you can never win. But one race you can always win is being free. If you can be free, and free means that your expenses are taken care of by your passive income. That's what I say is a wealthy person. Even if you have a passive income of 50,000 rupees per month, but your expenses are 40,000 rupees per month. You're free. You're wealthy.
Yeah.
So I can have expenses of, let's say, income of 5 lakhs, but my expenses are 10 lakhs. Then I'm not free. But I can have passive income of 50,000, but my expenses are only 40,000. I'm financially free. So it's not about how much I own or those kind of things. It's just a very simple equation that can my passive income beat my expenses? That day I become free.
So that's financial freedom for you.
Absolutely.
I think let's spend a bit more time to really understand. So what is I think that's the foundation of it. But tell us more what it really means to be financially free.
Financial freedom is a stage where you don't have to worry about your expenses.
Yeah.
That necessarily does not mean that you don't do anything.
Yeah.
It is just that your basic life is being taken care by money. So what happens is, Rodrigo, we sell time to make money.
Yeah.
So time is a finite resource. Money is an infinite resource. Okay. Money is available in abundance.
Yeah.
But my time is very finite. Okay. I don't know when I'm going to leave the world.
Yeah.
So I have sold a finite resource to get an infinite resource. I think it's not a great transaction. Right? So till the time I'm not able to become financially free, I have to do this bad transaction.
Yeah.
With you or with anyone, with an employer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a wrong transaction.
Yeah.
Your present circumstances may not have allowed you to do something else.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I also did that. But keeping on doing this all your life because you don't have good money habits, you will become very, very miserable. And every time when you want to leave your job or you want to start something of your own or you want to follow your passion, that those monthly bills will strike in front of you. You'll put your dream in the dustbin and go back again, wake up in the morning, go to the office and keep on doing this all your life. So somebody once said that people are ready to work for 40 years for somebody else's dream, but not for 3 years for their own dreams.
Yeah.
Right? So if you are financially free, you can reach that stage. So in the first 10 to 15 years of your life, if you can plan well, you can become financially free. And then the rest, let's say 25 to 30 years of your life, you can reap the benefits of this financial freedom.
But you know what? You told me something very interesting. You told me that also for you, you had certain mindset that was not enabling you to have the best decisions in money, right?
Yes.
You had a mindset shift, right?
Yes.
What was that mindset shift?
For me, there were few events in my life which shifted my mindset. See, I come from a very middle class background. My father used to work with ONGC, which is a government organization. Salaries were not great. Responsibilities were huge. Mother is a housewife, two kids, both have to study. So we always never were in abundance, neither in the mindset nor in the availability of money. And as it is, I think India in the early part of, last part of 80s and 90s and early 2000s was not in abundance. It's only when, this opening up of the economy happened and slowly people started making more money. But the people who were stuck with the government mindset, job mindset, they never transformed. So like my father sticked around with government for 36 years, right? So nothing against it. Obviously things still went well. But always had this extreme frugality to a level of being thrifty on expenses. So I think that was one mindset which got changed when I went abroad for studying. I was in Copenhagen for 2 months for an exchange program, summer university program. And that's where I met people from more than 60 nationalities. That's first time I saw behaviors, I saw people's judgments, I saw people's living ways, and I saw how different it was from us Indians as compared to them. They were more free, open, individualistic, responsible, and then also enjoying life by the side. So in India, I think people think very sequential. They give themselves post-dated checks that, okay, I will become happy when my salary becomes 1 lakh rupees a month. So that's like giving yourself a post-dated check.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you have 1 lakh rupees a month, then you'll give yourself, okay, no, I will become happy if I will have 2 lakh rupees a month. So I think celebrating smaller wins, having a budget for, also living a good life, still investing, still managing everything together. So instead of sequential, we should start thinking parallel. Like buckets. You should have buckets. One is an emergency bucket. One is a happiness bucket. One is an investment bucket. So if you start thinking in buckets, I think your life will become a fair bit easy on investments.
I think this is a great. So then, what do I do? What is the first step that I need to do? According to you, is that I need to have clarity about what I want, and then I need to define buckets, right? That's what you said.
Yes.
Can we go deeper into what are those buckets?
So if you sit down, clear the clutter, make your life goals. Okay, fine. What do I want after 3 years? What do I want after 5 years? What do I want after 10 years? What is the most important thing in my life? Like Warren Buffett says, put down 10 priorities of your life, put them in descending order of your, the more you want, it should be at the top. Cut down the last 5, stick with the first 5.
Exactly.
Right? Because that's the maximum you can achieve in your life. People are overwhelmed they want to achieve a lot. I think it's not about spreading wide, it's about going deep. The more you go deep in one thing is where the potential of you making more money, saving more money, investing more money comes very handy. So step 1 is clearly outlining how your next 10, 15 years are going to look like.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. And that's possible. Trust me, that's possible. And if it's not possible, pick up a mentor and do this. Because a mentor is like a short circuit. He will immediately short circuit your route to clarity. So have that clarity. Sit down with yourself and then plan your goals. I saw this amazing 24-year-old kid. He's just started his job out from his post-graduation. And it went viral on Reddit. He wrote a paper, small normal paper, with his pen. He's scribbling that after 20 years, I want to buy a house. That house today costs 2 crore rupees. After 20 years, it will cost, let's say, 6 crores or 7 crore rupees. So if I want to buy at that time 7 crores, what is the investment I require? So that's his goal number 1. His goal number 2 is after 25 years, I want to have a Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce today costs, let's say, 4 crore rupees. After 25 years, it will cost 10 crore rupees. How much do I save? How do I step up this investment? And what is the investment return going to be? Third, I want to be financially independent in X number of years. How much should I start investing for that? He sums that up. It comes to a meager 75,000 rupees for him.
Wow.
To start with, and every year he has to keep on escalating it by 7 or 8%.
Yeah.
Now just imagine, when you clearly look at the goals, when you break them down, now does 75,000 look very big? But for somebody who's earning 2 lakh rupees a month, 75,000 doesn't look big. So now he's so confident that in next 20-25 years, he will be able to achieve those goals because he's planned it well. So when we say buckets basically like this. So I always say first things first, work on your emergency fund. That's the most important thing. People miss out on that. Let me tell you this amazing fact that more than 95% of corporate India lives paycheck to paycheck.
Wow.
Just imagine, Rodrigo, that next month, if you're fired,
Yeah.
you don't have a job,
or some health
health issue, you're not able to
Yeah.
go to office for 2 months. What happens? You don't have bare minimum 3 to 6 months of expenses lying down in some FD account or savings bank account so that it can be used in certain, such conditions. Because when everything is going well, that time nobody thinks of these things. Everybody say, I'm okay, I'm great, nothing will happen to me. I'm the best, I'm the blue-eyed boy of the boss, he will never fire me. And then comes a memo on your table, thank you so much, it was a pleasure working with you. And you're at abeyance that, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So first bucket is your emergency fund. Fill it. Start filling it. At least have 3 months, if not 6 months. Ideal is 6 months. If you can have 6 months of expenses with you, that's great. But at least reach to three months first, because so that you have 100 days once you lose a job.
Yeah.
Or you can battle a bad health for 100 days. So that's the first bucket I request everybody to fill. The second bucket is insurances. Again, safety. What happens to your health? My father underwent an operation. It was a 6-day operation. The bill was 9 lakh rupees.
Wow.
But we walked in, we walked out. We didn't have to pay a penny. Right? So if you can have an insurance, it can save you from some severe financial misery. And the bad part is, out of 100 people in India today, only 3% people, 3 people have a health insurance.
Yeah.
And less than 1% of the people have apt health insurance. So even if somebody has a health insurance for 1 lakh rupee, 1 lakh rupee, nothing is going to happen, especially in a private hospital. And in government hospitals, you don't get space. It's very difficult to get space in government hospital. So point is, fill the buckets of your safety and security first, so that you always feel very comfortable chasing your dreams. And now the next bucket should be divided into different smaller buckets. My first goal, buying a car. My second goal, getting married. My third goal, having a kid. My fourth goal, buying a house. My fifth goal, sending kids to good education. My sixth goal, having a retirement. So your third bucket could be divided into multiple smaller buckets.
Which are the goals that you want to achieve.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then plan and invest for those goals.
Very good.
Create your asset allocation. Understand your risk profile. Can you see the markets dropping by 20%? If you have that courage, then invest in the markets. Don't think that markets are going to spare you. Markets have been red for everyone. It will not so happen the markets fall down, my portfolio will be red, yours will be green. It cannot happen. Not possible. So if you have the wherewithal to bear all these things, then invest in the market, because market is going to give you significant returns over long term. You cannot become rich by becoming an earner. You have to become rich by becoming an owner. So only when you own things, you become rich. Right? Because somebody else is working for you. You have leverage. So somebody else is running a corporation for you and you own some part of that corporation. And the corporation is increasing in value every year. So that's how you become rich. So these are your buckets of life. Fill those buckets slowly and steadily. And you will not even realize that how within 10 to 15 years, everything will be so beautifully set that you can say, okay, my all buckets are done. Thank you. Now I'm financially free, independent. I will chase my dream now. It's as simple as this.
I see. So what you say, the first bucket is your security bucket. The second is your insurance, which is also part of the foundation. Yes. Yeah, it's part of the. And then the third is where you start building your life according to your goals. So you define your goals, and that's where you make all the investments and in order for you to achieve your goals.
Absolutely.
That's it, right?
Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about how to achieve financial independence. Maybe you can share your journey. How did you achieve financial independence?
So first things first, before you achieve financial independence, you have to manifest that you will be able to achieve financial independence.
Oh.
Yes. You cannot achieve it without manifestation. See, what is goal setting? Whenever you speak to somebody about manifestation, they are saying that you manifest that you have a car.
Exactly.
So I'm also saying the same thing. You manifest after 3 years that you're going to own a car.
Yeah.
So goal setting, everybody asks me, do you believe in manifestation? I say it's not about belief. It's a fact of life. You can't achieve anything till the time you have a goal.
Yeah.
And manifestation is just a very nice way of putting the goal into play.
Yeah.
Because manifestation allows you visualization.
Exactly.
So when I say that you have a car after 3 years, you're driving it, your wife is sitting next to you, your kids are there, they're happy in the car, you're going to Lonavala, Khandala, having a nice time in the evening, going out with friends. These are visualization which make you stay on the path towards your financial goals. So you have to first manifest that you will be able to achieve financial freedom. And then you have to manifest the visualizations that what will you do once you're financially free? Okay, a part of it could be lying down free or having a good time, going to Portugal with friends, those kind of things. But bigger part of it has to be visualization around how will you help others? What will be your living purpose? Will you open an NGO or will you serve an NGO or will you consult smaller organizations on the skills you have developed over so many years? So what is that purpose going to drive, so that you can achieve your financial goal of financial independence? So this is the first step. So I always thought I will be 40 and free. And that's my book, which is coming up. It's called 40 and Free. So 40, I will be free by 40. And that's how and I took that magic number that this is the number which I think which will give me freedom. Calculated it, and that number was around 5 crores in India. For me to take care of my lifestyle. So now for me, the goal was to attract 5 crore rupees through investments, not through active income. So active income gets invested in an asset and that asset gives me financial freedom. So here is the money mindset.
Okay.
So the poor people, so there are 4 parts of money. Income, expense, asset, liability.
Okay.
That's the 4 things about money. That's it. Or kuch nahi hai. So a poor guy gets the income, he puts it in expenses, and he doesn't create anything.
I see.
Okay. So the money comes, income, expense, goes out. Nothing is left. A middle class guy, okay, his income comes, he buys liabilities. Let's buy a car on EMI. Let's buy a phone on EMI, the iPhone. Let's go to Coldplay, right? Expensive tickets.
Yeah.
So the income comes, you buy a liability, and you're stuck in this liability, paying off this liability all the time. But a rich mindset is, income comes, you buy an asset. Asset could be anything. It could be stocks, bonds, fixed deposit, gold, silver, anything, some shares in startup. Anything which you can afford is your asset. And then those assets keep on increasing over time in value. And there you are. After some time, you're financially free. So that's the rich mindset. That's the mindset which you need to have if you want to build financial independence for yourself. So step 1 was you have to put your goal through.
Yeah.
You can call it manifestation, visualization.
Yeah.
Put a number to the goal. That this is the number I require to the goal.
But at least be clear about that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
See, there are 2-3 things which you have to understand in finance, which are more important than having financial knowledge.
Yeah.
First things first, do not have FOMO.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out. If you're looking at some Instagrammer and looking at their life, mostly it is on rent. Okay? It is just to impress you. It's for an advertisement.
Yeah.
So that you can pay him money.
Yeah.
He's smart, you're not. Second is don't change your financial goalposts. Because then you're just postponing your happiness across.
Yeah.
So if I say 5 crores after 15 years, let's stick to 5 crores after 15 years. Don't after 13 years, 12 years, let's say you have reached to 4 crores, you'll say, no, I think I will be happy if I have 10 crores. Then you'll never be happy. You'll not be happy with 100 crores also. Okay. So don't change the financial goalpost. Don't have any FOMO and don't have any regret. So a lot of people become, I call this financial procrastination because of regret. So what is financial procrastination? Let's say you wanted to buy some asset and you couldn't buy at that time. It increased in value. And you're still not buying it. Why? Because for you, the price is anchored at a certain price.
Yeah.
That it should come here, then only I will buy.
Yeah.
The price moves forward. Now your regret is even more. And you are procrastinating your decisions.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Never do that.
Yeah.
This I learned from somebody, he was a stockbroker. And once we had bought this Whirlpool shares at 100 rupees. Then I went to Copenhagen. And I sold before I went to Copenhagen. I sold for 130, 140 rupees. Made good money. When I came back, they were at 170 rupees. So they had increased in value. So this guy tells me, buy again. It will go to 250. It's a good company. It's giving good results and so on. So I told him, why should I buy now? I sold it at 140. Once it comes to 140, I will buy. So he says, no. You never think like that. You always think from here, will it go up or not? And you get into that investment. So that's how I learned about this financial procrastination. So 3 things, just be averse of FOMO. Don't change your financial goalposts every day. And third is don't have regrets. Keep on investing. So this is the 3 things, non-financial things, which will help you become financially independent. So coming back, you have a goal, you have an amount which is set to it, and then you plan your finances. And don't get overwhelmed with that number. So for example, I want to become financially independent. I want to have 5 crores after 15 years. So I make a plan of a step-up SIP. So that every year I will step it up by 7%. My income goes up. I will also step it up by 7%. So what should be the amount today I have to invest? There are many calculators which are available, very easy to do. That number will come to a very small number. Now let's say that number comes to, for example, 40,000 rupees. I don't know what it will come to, but I'm just taking a guess, 40,000 rupees. Now if you have to put 40,000 rupees SIP, your income should be at least, I would say, 1,20,000 rupees.
Okay. 3 times more.
3 times more so that you can easily invest.
Exactly.
So you can forget this money.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you have to forget this money. This money is going to work for next 15 years.
Yeah.
Right? So are you generating 1,20,000 today? So maybe the answer is no. Then what do you have to do? You have to increase your active income. That means you have to work on your skills. So now you have to see which are the jobs which can give me 1,20,000 rupees per month. So you'll find, let's say, these are the 3 jobs which can give me 1,20,000 per month. Then you take those skills, apply for those jobs, and start working there. So when you reverse engineer your life, it becomes very easy. Else you will always claim, I am making 30,000 rupees. How can I put an SIP of 40,000 rupees? It's very difficult. But it is difficult. It is not easy. And that's why less than 1% of the world is financially free. So if you want to be in the 1% of that world, you have to act like them. I don't have a great body. I'm not physically fit. But if I want to become at least I want to become like you for first. That I want to become lean. So I have to follow what you are doing. Maybe you have a very good routine. You are going to the gym. You're not eating junk. You're not eating after a certain time. You're eating in a window. So once I start following what you are doing, I think I'll also reach somewhere, if not as lean as you or as fit as you, but my journey would start. So I think these are the things which are very important. Look at people who have been successful, and trust me, every person whom I have spoken to and who has been successful has done it very, very easily. Is that plan and stick to the plan. That's it. Plan and stick to the plan. Problem is you plan, but you don't stick to the plan. Then nothing will work.
Yeah, actually for me, that was one of my, in the past, I used to also to do that, which was about the FOMO. Right. What you mentioned. Sometimes, I mean, you think so much short term, then you just play. And what I like about what you say is like, don't try to time the market. Like, have a longer view, and then just trust. If you think it's going to go up, just keep investing. And I'm curious, what was the most counterintuitive thing that you did that helped you in your journey to become financially free?
Okay, this is something which is a very good question. And so I ask people, the general thumb rule is that when the markets fall, everybody calls me and asks me, should I remove my money? Should I stop my SIPs? So I ask them one thing, which is your favorite brand? So somebody comes and tells me, okay, let's say Nike or Adidas or Louis Vuitton, whichever. I say, imagine tomorrow the Nike store says 20% discount on Nike products. What will you do? Will you buy or will you sell? So they say, we'll buy, obviously. So I say, yeah, that's exactly what stock market is telling you. I'm on 10% sale. What should you do? Why are you getting out now? Because market is on sale.
Yeah.
The same stock which you were getting for, let's say, same Reliance, which I was getting for 1,600, I'm getting to 1,200. Logically, I should buy. So that's the most counterintuitive thing which has made money for me. And I have a strategy for this, which is called sip or dip. So every time there is a dip, I put some money. I put some investment. SIP means systematic investment.
Okay.
So I put a SIP or systematic investment whenever there is a dip. Whenever the market goes down, let's say market crashes by, a few days back, market just crashed. Small and mid cap crashed by 4%, 5%, 3%, bloodbath. I opened my wallet and I just, whatever I had invested. whatever I had in that on that day, and the next 2 days it's up by 3%. So it is as simple as that. And it is because I've read Warren Buffett. He says that I'll tell you a simple way to make money. Shut the door. When others are fearful, be greedy. When others are greedy, be fearful. That's it. How simple is it? See, you have to realize only 10% people are making money in this world from stock markets. And they are making money off those 90% people. Because they don't have patience, we have patience. Because they are thinking short term, we are thinking long term. So whenever there is a drop, and if your view is long term, buy. So I double down every time there is a market correction, I double down. So if that particular, let's say I'm more investing in small and mid cap, for example, small cap stocks. Now that index falls down by 1%, I would put 1,000 rupees. If it falls down by 2%, I will put 2,000 rupees. If it falls down by 3%, I'll put 3,000 rupees. So the more it falls, the more I invest. Because my favorite brand is on sale. And you know what you should do when your favorite brand is on sale. You should buy. I see these brands when they come up with these one-day flash sales, people are standing in a queue outside that. That they are ready to do, but when the stock falls, they are calling me and saying, should I get out? Should I stop my investment? Now this is the time. This is the time to buy. So that's it. That's the most counterintuitive thing which will make you long-term wealth. And that's what you will, when you reach to that level and you meet those kind of people, they say the same thing. Everybody says the same thing. And that's why it is very important for you to listen to the right people. So when you know these kind of things, when you understand these kind of things, you will be more mature in making financial decisions. And why are you even looking at it? I have first told you to fill the bucket of emergency funds.
Yeah.
So you're already protected. Why are you looking at that? You have already protected yourself with emergency funds. You have already protected yourself with insurances. This is your spare money. Your life is being taken care of. You are running your expenses. Why are you just worrying? You have see, that's why the bucketed lifestyle works very well. Each bucket is full, you are satisfied. Then you can let the money do its work. But the problem is that people don't fill their emergency fund bucket.
Exactly.
And that's when suddenly something happens, because when the market crashes, economy is not in the best of the shape. People are losing their job. At that time, they will start withdrawing their investments because they never had the emergency fund. And it takes time. Please understand, everything will take time. The only thing which can really double your money overnight is your skills. If you can focus on your skills, if you can spend more time on your skills, if you can invest on your skills, you will definitely make more money. But if you're expecting the markets will make more money for you, that's not going to happen.
Tell me more about that, about how do you build your skills?
See, skills basically, again, as I said, that you need to understand which are the most high money-making skills existing. Okay? So once you have understood that this is the skill this is the job which gives right now. Let's say AI. Nobody knew AI. There was no course on AI. There was nothing on AI, and AI suddenly is now here. But now a lot of people have come up with AI-based courses. So why are you not doing them? Why are you not there when people are kind of shifting to artificial intelligence? And if something happens to your job because of artificial intelligence, then who's to blame? But you can't say, no, why did AI come and all. It is here. You can't do anything with it. Don't stress about things which you can't change. Only stress about things which you can change. And which starts with you alone. Right? So if you can change yourself, things become very easy. So skills, I believe, any skills which are high-paying skills, like artificial intelligence, data analytics, today even at video editing, I'm seeing a lot of high-quality video editing people making a lot of money. And there's a 13-year-old I know who runs an agency using AI tools. And he's making good 60 to 80,000 rupees a month at 13. Right? A lot of people who are at 50 are not able to make that kind of money.
Yeah.
So why? Because he's using an arbitrage, which is an opportunity which people are not much aware of. But he has got his hands early. He's got the right information. He's putting his effort. So he's making his money. So put your effort, put your skills, hone your skills, improve your skills, invest on your skills. Like I used to invest, I still do, 4 to 5% of my income on developing my skills every year. So whatever I would make, 5% would go in reinvesting on my own self. But what happens in India, Rodrigo, is that people will never upskill after they have completed their education. Because they feel now I'm educated, I don't need to do anything.
So good what you're saying. Yeah.
They're saying, okay, done. 22 years of education, I don't need to do anything now. But they don't realize now is when your real skill building starts. Right now you are getting educated. Now it's time for building skills. And today's skills, so I had a camera person who was drawing a very little salary, 18K per month. And this was where I was doing my job before. And he comes to me and he says that, Sanjay sir, I'm not able to take care of my expenses and all that things and all that. What are you doing, camera? What are you doing more? Why should I pay you more? I can replace you immediately with the same salary. So why should I give you more? So your problems are not my problems. So you have to first improve your skill. Don't come and beg to me. Sit with a position of power. Negotiate with me. But that you can only do when you have a skill. So he said that I want to get better. And he did a course on AWS, Amazon Web Servers. He was interested in IT. Trust me, he finished that course within 6 months, 6 or 8 months. Took the exam, got the certification. In our own company, he was offered 85,000 rupees a month. From 18,000 to 85,000 within 7 months. There is no stock in the world. There is no crypto in the world. There is no penny stock in the world. There is no mutual fund in the world which can convert you from 18,000 a month to 85,000 a month in 6 months. The only thing which can do that is your own skills.
Wow.
So the investment in your brain will give you the maximum gain. To give your brain the maximum gain, just keep on investing here as much as possible.
Oh, okay. To go in the direction of financial freedom, so what you said, if I understood, the first step is you be clear about what you want to achieve.
Yes.
Right? Then you plan. You have your buckets.
Yes.
Right? You work on yourself. Right? You work on your skills.
Yes.
Right? And then a big part also, it's about how you invest the money.
Yes.
And I think that's where a lot of people, what you've mentioned, there's a lot of fear. Even myself, I struggled in the past about how do I invest? And I went also to the same journey. So for people who want to invest, what are some of the principles that help them take better decisions in terms of investment?
So the step one is know your risk tolerance.
Okay.
That is very, very important.
Nice.
Now, what do I mean by risk tolerance? I will double click into that. Risk tolerance basically means that what is the maximum negative you can see? If tomorrow your portfolio goes down by 50%, are you able to see that? If the answer is no, then the investing style, aggressive investing style is not for you. Okay, then you buy assets which are more stable, like gold, deposits, fixed deposits, government bonds, so on and so forth. But they will not make wealth for you very quickly. Okay, then you have to wait for a little more period, which is okay because it has to suit your risk tolerance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, second is if you can bear a bit of loss, then you can put some money into risky assets. Now, risky assets could be like stock market itself is risky, but then inside stock market there are different levels of risk. So the easiest and the least risk is the index which represents the country. So for example, in India, it's Nifty 50.
Nifty 50, yeah.
For US, it will be S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, yeah. So these kind of things. So in Japan, it would be Nikkei and whatever is the index. There are a lot of funds which absolutely mimic the index. So you can invest in those because then it is completely dependent upon the index. You're not depending upon a particular stock.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not, and basket never goes to zero.
Exactly.
An individual stock can go to zero, but a basket of stocks never goes to zero. So you start. Now, once you say, okay, fine, now I'm comfortable with this risk, I want to take a little more risk, then you move to middle companies and smaller companies, which are called mid cap and small cap, which are not very big, but they're not very small. Okay. So you invest in them because they have a potential to multiply your money. But then don't invest everything into them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you have 100 rupees, you invest, let's say 70 in index, 30 in middle and small cap.
Okay, 70-30.
70-30. Okay. So that you feel safe. That okay, fine, if the markets crash, 70% of my money is in index and 30 is in small. And that also don't do stock picking. Pick up the index.
Exactly.
Pick up the mid-cap index, pick up the small-cap index. Okay. Now, you say, no, I want to take more risk. I'm okay taking more risk. Then you can add crypto to your portfolio. You can say, okay, fine, 10% of my money would go to crypto, which could be, and then they don't do meme coins and all. Pick up the better coins like Bitcoin or your Ethereum, Solana, which have use case, which have good use case, which are there in the market for a very long time, which have very good market capitalization. So invest in those particular coins. Okay. Then you say, no, I want to take more risk. So then you pick up 2 to 3% of your money or 1% of your money, you can put in some risky coins. Some new coin has come up. So you keep on increasing your risk, it's okay, but don't put everything into that risk. Keep a proportion. Somebody told me that there's a guy who bought, you say never to buy crypto. There's a guy who's bought $5 million of crypto. I said, look at his net worth. His net worth is $500 million. So for a $500 million guy, putting $5 million in crypto is not a big deal.
Exactly.
Even if he loses it all, that main wealth is not going to be touched.
Yeah.
So precisely this is the mindset you should build. First, learn to take risk. If you can't take risk, start investing a little bit of money in index. Once you are comfortable with the index after 2-3 years, start putting money in mid cap, small cap. Once you're comfortable with that, put it in crypto. Once you're comfortable with that, start putting in smaller coins. But then your proportions should be managed. It's like food. You can't have an all sweet dinner.
Yeah.
Right? You can't have like 30 sweets on your table and saying, no, it's a dinner. I will eat 30 different sweets. I'll eat 4 different types of ice creams. I will eat a kheer. I will eat rasgulla. I will eat this. I will eat that. That's not possible. It's not nutritious. Rather, it will be very bad on your health. So it's not that you take up all your money and put it in meme coins. Okay? So you spread this money. Make a nice platter. A nice diversified platter. You have your vegetables, you have your rice, you have your chapati, you have your dal, you have your proteins, you have your, have everything on the plate. So you'll be happy. A bit of carbs, everything. That makes you happy. So this is how investments should be thought. First, learn risk.
Yeah.
If you can't take risk, it's okay. Learn to take risk. Small money, put in index. Once you are, this gives good returns. This is very nice. Okay, now let me just increase and move it towards more mid and small cap. Let it increase, move towards crypto. In next 4 to 5 years, you will learn all these things and then you can keep on building your wealth for the next 10, 15 years. People are not thinking long term. That's the biggest issue.
So true.
And that's where our podcast started, that what is the most funniest thing.
Yeah.
And I told you that people want to become rich overnight. Now you're realizing that actually investments is the simplest things to do. There was a research conducted in US where they found out who is making the maximum returns. The answer came out to be nurses. Now, what financial intelligence does nurse have? They are making money because they invest and forget. So you will always make money when you invest and forget. If you invest and see, keep on seeing what you have invested, then you're never going to make money.
So good.
So yeah, invest, forget. Have your goals. And once that goal is hit, let's say you have decided that you need 2 million rupees after 6 years to buy a car. 6 years you invested. Now the corpus is, let's say 2 million, 1.9 million, 2.1 million. You are not God. It's not going to be exact. It may be 10% plus minus. So let's say it's reached around 2 million. Now what people do, I'll tell you. The moment it reaches 2 million, I think we'll wait more and we will,
I see.
Take it to 3 million. Why? Your goal is achieved. Now live it. Buy that car. Take that money out. Go and give it to the dealership and take the car. Because that was the purpose of that money. Now don't repurpose the money. There's no need to repurpose the money. I'm very clear. This mutual fund of mine is for my son. This will go to him for his further education. So that kind of clarity if you build, and then celebrate them. Don't keep on, as I said, don't shift the goalpost every time, which is very difficult. Even if it's Ronaldo, comes from your country. So even if it's Ronaldo and he's taking the ball and suddenly he puts his head up and the goal is not there, he'll not be able to score. So even the best player cannot score a goal which keeps on moving. So don't move the goalpost. Once you have achieved that, shift. So it is actually very, very simple.
Yeah.
It's very counterintuitive that simpler thing is investment. More difficult thing is building your active income. And that's why people don't want to focus there, because that requires personal hard work. Investment, they feel that I should do something, some magic should have happened with me. And like this guy who's become very rich through investments, I should also become rich through investments. That's like 1 in million, 1 in billion kind of a story, which is not going to repeat every time.
So now I think we covered quite a lot. I think it's nice to understand okay, what are other ways for people to build passive income that help them to achieve the financial independence.
So see, what is passive means less. Passive doesn't mean zero effort and money.
Exactly.
Basically, it's leverage. Okay, so once you have more leverage, you will be able to build passive income. So what are the kind of leverages we can create for ourselves?
So what is leverage?
Leverage means that I have to work less and my output is more. Less effort, more output.
Nice.
Is leverage.
Perfect.
It's like, let's say there's a very big 100 kg stone.
Yeah.
You can't pick it up.
Yeah.
But if you have a rod and you put this rod here, with the same rod, you can press and you can move that particular stone.
Yeah.
So that's called leverage.
Yeah.
So even humanly, you can't do everything. So you need to find out the leverages which you have. So one leverage which you have is financial leverage. If you have money, it will create money, which is passive income. Second leverage is if you can build systems. So that's a very big leverage. Like Amazon is a set of systems and people. So they have two leverage. One is systems leverage, one is people leverage. So these are the two very big leverages which they have, or any organization has this leverage. So can you create something like that? So for example, I'll tell you, if you can publish a course on something which you know, you don't have to repeat it every day. It keeps on selling on its own.
Yeah, that's the leverage that you're saying.
That's the leverage.
Yeah, yeah.
So you did it once.
Yeah.
And now it sells multiple copies.
Exactly.
Writing a book. You did it once. Selling is happening every day. Third example could be, let's say you have created certain prototypes of systems and processes, or you have created prototypes of how a brand should look in marketing and finance. Those prototypes can keep on selling. Like fourth, you are an editor. You have created some edit backgrounds which are used by everyone. Those edit backgrounds, standard edit backgrounds, you can sell in the market. You can keep on selling the same thing again and again. So one thing which you can photocopy, like you can just sell multiple copies of, is something which can give you passive income.
Yeah, not exchange on your time.
Yes, every time it should not require your time.
Exactly, yeah.
So once you have invested your time,
yeah.
it can give. So this is what we call roti. You know what is roti in India?
Yeah.
That chapati?
Yeah.
So but we call roti something else. It's called return on time invested. So that's the term for roti.
Yeah.
So your roti will define your roti. So if your return on time invested is improved,
yeah,
then you will have better roti. Like you will have like nicer, you can go to nicer place to eat because you have money. So any leverage which you can create, it could be financial.
Yeah.
It could be your brand. Like if I build a brand across finance, and today a brand comes to me and tells me that Sanjay, you promote us, and it is in my coherence. Maybe for a very short 1 minute thing, I can make money which people can't even make on a monthly basis with salaries. So these are endorsements, like brand endorsements, because that is my personal brand leverage. So what is that one leverage which you can create for yourself? Can you create finance? Can you create brand? Can you get systems and processes? Can you create people? Can you get technology? There are a lot of technologies you can build today. So for example, a lot of SaaS companies, software as a service. What is that? Pure leverage. Their margins are 80%, 70%.
Wow.
Because it's pure leverage. Once created, photocopy. He will also use it. He will also use it. He will also use it. Probably the same, broadly the same thing. So this is what leverage is. So that's how you make passive, keep on making passive income. So please don't, I would say, please don't think of passive income as of nothing with and making money. Think of it in a way that low time, more money. Return on time invested. The higher the return on time invested, the better passive you are. So skill-based and money-based are the two basically bifurcations of your passive income. So one is money-based, which is very simple. You have a lot of money, you put it into deposits or you invest in great places. And second is all these skills which you can leverage. It could be a brand, it could be systems, processes, technologies, people, anything else, knowledge.
And the beauty is that even people can work for a company while they build
these things,
their leverage for the future.
Absolutely.
Right?
And the day the leverage is giving more money, they can say bye-bye to the job.
Exactly.
And then they can focus on this particular
Exactly. But that's a decision, right?
Yes,
then that's a decision. Yeah.
So Rodrigo, in this, I'll say that today people are ready to watch Netflix for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Scroll reels for 4-5 hours, but they are not ready to give 1 hour to build their skill. It is so simple. If somebody can just sit down for 30 days, trust me on this process. 30 days, pick up one thing which you really want to do and spend not more than 90 minutes on it. That's it. You come from the office, you're tired, but you're ready to watch Netflix, right? Even if you're tired. So just divert that into 1.5 hours of skill building. I have a guy who's a social media manager with me, and this guy watches 3 courses every month, different courses. He's coming by the metro, 45 minutes, he's watching the course. He has downloaded, put his earphone, he's watching the course. So that is the effort you need to put initially. It is not going to happen automatically. It is not going to happen overnight. Effort, consistent, persistent, will definitely give you leverage, which you could have even not thought of. So I think that is where I want people that please don't focus on, these binge watching episodes and all these kind of things. Focus a bit about, creating something for yourself, because that is going to give you a lot in the long term.
Wow, this is so good. So good.
Thank you.
So much. I learned a lot with you. I think for me, to be honest, I think one of my biggest mistakes that I did was not to start investing early. So that as what you said about, like, if you start investing early, you start learning fast. And I think that is something that unfortunately I did later, but now I'm more serious about it. And what I love, you just gave the what are the mindsets, the principles that you need to think, and also what is the roadmap that we can do in order to achieve that. And I agree with you, it's not as difficult as
it is not.
Yeah, exactly. But what you say is like there needs to be a lot of effort and consistency.
Yes.
And thinking long term.
Warren Buffett says that a fool with a plan is better than an intelligent person without a plan.
What is it?
A fool with a plan is better than intelligent person without a plan.
Yeah.
So what happens is sometimes intelligence overwhelms you.
Yeah.
So don't become intelligent in investments. I always say active and passive.
Yeah.
Right? So active means active, passive means passive. So what mistake people are doing, they are becoming passive in active and active in passive.
Yeah.
So just reverse this. On your active skills, become very active. Improve yourself, keep on improving yourself. On your passive skills, which are your investments, just don't look at them. You will not be able to manage your heart, your emotions, if you keep on looking at them every day.
Do like the nurses.
Yes, do like the nurses. Warren Buffett says very important thing, that if you look out, what do you look out in your spouse?
Yeah.
So somebody would say beauty, somebody would say loyalty, blah, 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 all those things. He says you should have a spouse which has low expectations. So if you have low expectations, the relationship is longer.
Yeah.
And when the relationship with money is longer on investments, your returns are phenomenal. Even with average returns, but for above average duration of time, you can make so much money. You can't even imagine and think about that.
Yeah, but it is true. Now comes, if we go back to what we said, is like, it's unfortunate that we don't learn that in school.
Yes.
Because you're right. If people have those knowledge about how to do that, the world could be completely different.
Yes, it could be. It could.
Yeah. So now we're coming to the end, and I think so. Our podcast is called Something Bigger, and it's all about people who want to do something bigger. Now, I achieved financial independence. How can I create more impact?
So again, pick up this is where Ikigai comes into play. There's a very good Japanese concept. Which is called Ikigai. So it's basically intersection of what you know, what you love, and what is the world ready to pay for. So if you can find the right intersection of these 3 things. So I'm great at a certain skill. I love to do that. And even the market is ready to pay me for that. So that is the particular skill which will make you something bigger. So if for me in that case was teaching, I love teaching, right? I know teaching. I know how to teach. I love teaching. And the market is ready to pay for teaching. So when I mixed all the 3, even my purpose is getting solved. What I want to impact, when I see this guy who's walking up with me, he's a technician, maybe earning 25,000-30,000 rupees. And he's saying I'm putting 2,000 in SIP. That's my purpose getting solved. But I'm making money also by the side, in the sense I'm selling my services, or, rich people reach out to me for managing their capital. So from them I can charge very easily. So that is how I'm making money also. And on the ground, I'm creating impact also. So something bigger can only happen when you have your Ikigai set in. So Ikigai is very simple. What you know, what you love, and what is the market ready to pay for. So if you can find that intersection, You'll really be very, very happy in life. You'll be very content in life. It is not about pleasure, happiness. You'll have happiness, and then you will have money also. And soon very soon you'll realize, especially after financial independence, you realize money has very, very little incremental value to add in life. It's a very the graph goes like this, and then it becomes like this. It becomes very plateaued after a certain time. It's then only a vanity factor that I own more than you own more than somebody else, blah, 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 blah. That's it. As I said, there is no victory for the rich, but there's a victory for the free. If you're free, that's a very big victory.
I love that. So if we go back to what we said, like the CEO of Loom that has a lot of money, it is lost. If people know their ikigai,
yes,
and so what they love, what they know, and what the world can pay, then this won't happen. This people can have more purpose and create more impact.
Yes.
That's what you say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Very cool. This is so good. Sanjay, one last question. What is something bigger for you?
Something bigger for me is the same thing. If I can multiply this to a very, very large extent. If I can have, like, a technician is one example, or a guard at the airport who's frisking is one example. If I can reach even to more bottom, if I can reach to people who can start investing 100 rupees every month after listening to me, and have that confidence that this 100 rupees can also secure financial freedom for them over years, I think that will be my something bigger. And I'm nowhere close to that number, very, very honestly, because it's just started around 10 months back. So I think I have a long way to go. And every time I look at this journey and I say that how much longer I have to go, it keeps me up, it keeps me motivated, it keeps me, I think in terms of work, I used to work lesser when I was having a job.
Same here.
Yeah. So now I'm working far more. I'm more concerned about what people would learn from me. I'm more willing to give what more they can learn from me. At the end of every video on a call to action, I tell people, please ask me what more you want to learn from me, so that I can keep on giving these things to you. And yes, I think that will be my something bigger. And I want to be remembered as a person when I leave this world, because I read this book called Who'll Cry When You'll Die. It's by Robin Sharma. And he also mentions a lot about purpose. That, if you have the right purpose and you have achieved something in that purpose, people will remember you. Like Mr. Ratan Tata, when we lost him, I think it was a personal loss to every Indian, because we are so fond of Tatas and they have done so much, contributed so much to the country. Not only to the country, to the shareholders, everyone, every sect of the company, be it government, be it social work, be it investors, be it employees, be it anything, they have contributed a lot to the country. So when we lost him, we lost like a father, and that was the feeling. And if I can have that feeling with even like 10,000 people, not the entire country, but even with 10,000 people, if they feel that way for me after I'm gone, I think I would have done something in my life.
And you're already in that journey. I mean, you just achieved 1 million subscribers on Instagram.
Yes.
And but what I enjoy most about you, one is your authenticity, your energy, and how you are now in a journey of giving to people. It was an absolute pleasure to have this conversation with you. I learned a lot.
Thank you, Rodrigo.
But I enjoyed a lot getting that energy, that positive energy.
Thank you so much. And this conversation is very special for me because two things. One, as I said, that I have not done many English podcasts before. And second, this would be my first international podcast, with at least the host being from a separate country than ours. And I'm so glad that you're putting your time in India and getting the right stories of the right set of people. I've been following your work on YouTube, and it is just amazing. And it is such a pleasure to be here on your podcast and sitting and trying to help people as much as I can.